Hey everyone, Felix here, and today I'm gonna be ranking who has the best drip in Darkest Dungeon 2. Starting off, we got Plague Doctor. She has a pretty cool outfit, honestly. Her original colors are the black and the green. She's got that classic, Plague Doctor look, hooded mask with a beak. And her weapons, the jagged knife looks pretty sick, and she got a satchel full of blight bombs and a bunch of test tubes on her side. It works pretty well, original outfit. Let's look at the recolors. The brown, not a fan. I mean, it looks like she came out of a swamp. It does not do it for me. This, the purple, it looks dope. She looks like a Bloodborne character with this, and I love Bloodborne, so very good in my books. Now Surgeon, I'm not a fan, but people could be. The white and the red, but I don't think it's for me. And then her weapon skins. This one is it's okay. I mean, it's just a bunch of extra tubes and bottles. Her knife gets more triangular looking. Nothing too crazy. Her physician one looks much cooler. Her knife becomes like a scalpel. She gets a bag full of medicines. This one's pretty cool. Now this one, she gets like a butcher knife. That thing looks dangerous. And then a satchel full of bloody bandages. This one's probably the coolest looking one. So all in all, I'll rate her drip probably B tier. Next we have Grave Robber. Grave Robber has a pretty cool outfit. It's like half fancy, half not fancy. Like her jacket, the puffy shoulders almost look like half a dress, and then her pants are like stitched together, and her shirt is torn. So it matches the character very well, and the hat, the hat adds a cool touch. So her outfit is pretty good. Let's look at the recolors. The red and the black is pretty cool. Honestly, this is definitely a very good recolor. Now this one just looks like the normal one, except they made her shirt black, so it's more of just darkening her entire outfit, which can be cool. This one, I mean, it just makes her green, so if you like green, this is pretty cool. And then her weapons, her base weapons is basically just a throwing knife and a bottle of alcohol on her side, nothing too special. These ones are, she basically gets kunai, and she loses the alcohol, which is interesting. And then she gets a more ornate looking knife, and then pouch with a skull motif on it, but yeah, not too much changes. This one, she gets an even thinner knife, still with a skull on it, and a bunch of tubes. So yeah, her weapons don't really change too much, but they're alright. So all in all, I'll rate her drip also B tier. Highwayman's next, and Highwayman has a very nice outfit. The coat is very nice, especially the fur collar. That looks mad comfortable. And then he's got his neckerchief covering his face, classic thief. And his weapons, he's got his short sword and his flintlock pistol. They fit very well. Let's check the recolors. This one makes it light blue. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's very subtle. The sharp shot one, this one's very nice. Changes the whole coat to be like a beige color. This one's very nice. This one doesn't change much. I think his coat gets a bit lighter, and he gets the yellow gloves and neckerchief. And yeah, it's pretty subtle as well. Then for the weapons, we got it looks like a cutlass, honestly. Short sword becomes a knife with a spiked guard, and he gets a double-barreled pistol. So this is a very piratey looking set of weapons. And then this one, he gets a longer flintlock pistol, and his sword becomes much thinner. Honestly, it looks like a Misericord if you play Elden Ring. Next up, we got this one. This one is the most janky looking one. His pistol looks very makeshift, and he's basically just wielding a knife, basic knife. So yeah, this one I'm not too big a fan of. But all in all, his drip is pretty cool. I think I'd put him in A tier. Next up, we got Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms is pretty basic. It just has a full suit of armor. I mean, there's some interesting pieces. His promotion with the lion and his skull shoulder plate. But other than that, it's just a pretty average suit of armor. Let's look at the recolors. This one, gold and blue. Yeah, it's okay. This one is, I think they only changed the stripe across his chest to green. So yeah, not that interesting. This one's most interesting. It darkens his entire suit of armor and makes the stripe white. So for like a darker type outfit. Now for his weapons, his basic weapons is just a regular ass shield and a morning star. Nothing too special. This one, his morning star gets changed into a mace. His shield has a skull in it. Looks more interesting. Still with a skull, but different pattern. His mace becomes more square shaped. Now this one is cool as hell looking. His mace gets like big ass spikes on it, and his shield is a full ass statue of a lion. This might bump him up a few tiers, because this is a cool ass looking thing. I was gonna put him in like C tier, but I'll probably bump him up to B tier. Next up, we got Flagellant. Flagellant, she has the tribal outfit, very makeshift looking. She's got bones attached to her, which is cool. Definitely bumps up a few points. A spine on the back, bones as a belt. I mean, it's not that interesting, but it's alright. Let's look at the recolors. This one just darkens everything. Pretty cool. This one gives her like a bluish gray, which is also very cool. The brown. Yeah, not too much to say about those. And her weapon, her base weapon, just a glaive. It's a pretty sick looking glaive, to be honest. The reskin, this one looks terrible. This one looks like she just made it. It looks like it's barely attached together. I'm not a big fan. This one, I'm also not a very big fan. It is more polished looking, but you know, the wide ass tip does not look that cool. Even the skull does not add too much. This one straight up looks like a cultist weapon. This one's pretty cool. It's very big, and it's very scary looking. But all in all, I'd rate her drip probably a C tier. It's not too interesting. Alright, so we have Runaway. Runaway looks homeless, which makes sense as she is homeless. She's got a burnt cape and just regular ass clothes, a backpack and a bedroll in the back because she's homeless. And her weapons, she has a fire poker and a bunch of various bottles attached to her. Nothing too interesting. The recolors, the brown, does not look that good, to be honest. This one looks more interesting. It's like a gray. This one, same, it's just green, nothing too interesting. And as for her weapon changes, this one looks terrible. They just give her a burnt stick, and her bottles look yellow. That's about it. This one's more interesting. She gets a more ornate looking fire poker, and also the bottles look more interesting. This is probably the best one she has. This one's more of the same. She gets just a fancier looking fire poker and different type bottles. Really, not that much to say about her. She's not that interesting, honestly. Her drip is probably about C tier, I'd say. Alright, so we have Jester next. Jester looks very cool just as is, you know. He has a clown outfit, but it is a very cool clown outfit. Yeah, the bells. Not much to say, it's just a clown outfit. Alright, the recolors. Purple. Very cool, very cool. I like this one a lot. The red and the black, I also like this one a lot. This one's probably less interesting. It's green, but if you like green, it's probably good. And as for the weapons, his base weapons, his sickle, his dagger, and his lute, you know, they're average looking. But the skin changes are very sick. He gets like serrations on it, and the lute, it's a bit hard to see, but it also looks much cooler. Looks almost like an electric guitar. And then the next one we have after that is this one. His sickles get spikes, and his lute gets more square shape like a banjo. And this one, he gets a very fancy looking loot. It's got like flower patterns on it, and his dagger doesn't change throughout any of them, but his sickle doesn't change too much. Probably just a different shape, otherwise the same. But all in all, just has a very cool outfit. I'd rank him A tier. Right, next we have Leper. Leper, I think he looks pretty cool. You know, his big bronze chestplate, bronze mask, and his short cape. I think he looks pretty cool as is, yeah. And for his reskins, the red, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the red. I'm indifferent to it. It can go either way. The blue looks cool, honestly. Yeah, I like the blue. And this one, the silver chestplate with the, I can't tell what color that is. It's like a very dark gray. It is probably the coolest. I really like this one. And as for his weapons, I mean, his base weapon is just a rusted, broken greatsword. It looks kinda not that cool. It is only cool because, you know, Leper's wielding it. And now this one, they made the tip much wider and they made it less broken looking, so it's definitely a plus. And they gave it spikes on the pommel, so it's definitely cool looking. Now this one looks like a tombstone. Like, it's got his engravings on it, and he's got beads. It's very sad. It has very sad implications, but it's also cool. You know, that kind of matches the Leper. Sad but cool. Next up, we have the warped blade, full of holes, and it's really worn out. I can see why people would like this, but I personally don't like this blade. It looks way too flimsy for big Leper to be wielding it. But all in all, I'll put Leper's Drip at a B tier. Occultist is next, and I'm not gonna lie, Occultist is probably the drippiest out of all of them. He's got a sick looking robe, and then his weapon, a skull, a curved dagger, and a bag full of forbidden scrolls. He looks mad drippy. And his skins look even cooler. First one, the red and the black, very cool looking. The green and the blue, I'm less a fan of, but still is very cool looking. And this one, the purple, this is the coolest one, I think, in my opinion. I love this one a lot. And his weapon changes actually fit his skin changes a lot too. They're color coded. So his first one, he gets his red candle with what looks to be a cyclops skull, and a red dagger and a red satchel with more daggers in it, and it matches the skin very well. Next up we have his blue set. Everything is light blue. He has a light blue candle, atop a Cthulhu figurine, and a book, probably in the Necronomicon, to fit with the theme, and fits the skin as well. Next up we have his, oh, this is a sick looking one. Instead of a skull, he gets just a mass of tentacles crawling up the candle, and then he gets a triangular not curved, just a regular dagger, and then he gets his purple bag with a tentacle and an eye on it. This is very sick looking. I think Occultist, I'm gonna put him S tier drip. Alright, so we got Flagellant. Flagellant looks terrible. He looks terrible. All he has is torn rags and a robe covering his nether region. He just looks like worse than homeless, honestly. And as for his skins, he just gets a darker one. It is definitely cooler than his base one, so I'll give him that. The red and the white, also cooler than his base one. This one just looks like a different tone, not too different. And his weapons, he just gets a flail. It's a pretty normal looking flail, nothing too special. This one changes it a bit. The balls look a lot weirder. They look more, I don't know, plant-like. And it gets a skull on it, so a bit cooler. This one is made from a bone, and it gets dark balls, so take that what you will. And this one, it gets square balls, so yeah, nothing too special. I mean, his drip is pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. He's probably the only one I'd put in D tier, so yeah. Alright, finally we have Vestal. Vestal is very similar to Man-at-Arms. She just wears a full suit of armor. Uh, Nothing too different. Her reskins, she gets blue cloth, nothing too special. The red and the black, this one looks cool. This one looks less cool. It makes her suit look kind of rusted, so not a big fan of this one. And her weapons, she gets her book, her Bible, and her mace. They don't look too special. Her book definitely adds a bit. As for the skins, takes away the spikes, so makes it less deadly looking. And the book gets a different look as well. The Confessor one, honestly, looks a bit evil. Her mace looks like very, very mean, and the book has skulls on it, so this is like Vestal evil path. Next we have her Seraph. Her Seraph skin is cool looking. Her mace gets inscriptions on it, probably, you know, verses, and the book also looks different, so yeah, it's pretty cool. But all in all, I'd give her probably just a B tier. Oh, I forgot about a Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter doesn't have skins like the rest of the characters, so we'll just rank him as is. He's got his scaled armor, his hood, his mask, you know, he's got a Batman type vibe going on. All his utilities, his flashbangs, his hook with a rope, his bounty papers, and his axe. He looks pretty alright. He's built more for utility than fashion, so I think he'll be sitting fine at about B tier. And that's every character's drip rated in Darkest Dungeon 2. Let me know if you agree or disagree, put it down in the comment sections down below, and I'll see you next time.